All right, we are live. It's the Android Headline Show, episode 74. My name is Jeremiah. I'm joined tonight by Nick and Alex. You guys want to say what's up?
What's up, everybody?
Evening, fellas.
So we got a jam-packed week, man. It didn't really feel at the time like there was a lot going on, but looking back over the week's worth of news, man, there was a ton of stuff that happened this week. We're going to jump in right into a preview of IFA 2014 because that kicks off. Technically, it kicks off on the 4th, but there's all kinds of press events on the 3rd also. So we're going to jump into that, run through kind of what we expect to see, and then everything else, man. There was we got a new giveaway with D-Brand. So we just wrapped up a giveaway with slick wraps for an LG G3, a G Watch, and a whole bunch of wraps. D-Brand saw what we did with slick wraps, said, hey, we want in on that action, and they partnered up with us to give away a G3 as well. So we got a new G3 giveaway. If you didn't win the last one, you got another chance. A whole bunch of Moto X Plus One and Android L stuff, LG and Samsung. HTC announced some new stuff just yesterday. So let's jump into IFA 2014. So first things, really it's just a list of all these manufacturers that are holding press events. Sony is announcing some new Xperia devices.
Yeah, it looks like it's the Z3 Compact and the Z3 Tablet Compact, which I do not like that name.
The Z3 Tablet Compact.
Yeah, it leaked out on one of their support pages, so it's the full name is the Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact, and it's just too long of a name for me.
Yeah, they should have just called it the Z3 Tablet and then put a size on it, you know?
I don't know if I would like that either, because then you got two numbers in there, like with the HTC One Mini 2.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Or like all the numerous Samsung tablets that have like 6 different numbers in them.
Yeah.
The Tab 4 7-inch.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It gets a little confusing in there. So yeah, I don't know. Tablet compact is fine. I think it's just weird because most tablets are. I mean, I guess you have like iPad Mini or whatever, so I guess you have a few that are named something else, but most of them seem like they have the size, the number in them.
Right.
You know, Nexus 10,
Right.
Nexus 7, whatever.
I think the iPad Mini is the only one that doesn't have the number in there.
Probably. That's just how that goes. But I don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't done a smaller tablet yet, right? They've only done the larger 10.1s.
Yeah, it's always been 10-inch tablets, and I think this one's supposed to be like an 8.3-inch tablet, which I'd really like.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Z3 also. It's not a huge step up over the Z2. Yeah, it's not a huge step up over the Z2, but to have it be official and check out that camera and
Yeah, the camera will probably be identical to the Z2 and the Z1.
Like
it's been
the rest of the phone.
Yeah, it's been the same sensor for the last two phones. They've just added some new camera features. The build looks like it's going to be a little bit different. Like, you know how the Xperia devices are usually like, they look boxy? Like, the sides are supposed to be more curved now. And I think I like that better because, like, holding the Z1S, I think was the last Sony device or Sony smartphone I used, and I just didn't like the feel of it because it was so boxy. But I think with the rounded corners, it's gonna feel a lot nicer in the hand.
Yeah, I would agree. I know I kind of felt that way the handful of times that I've been able to use any of Sony's devices. And I also really, really like that they're keeping up with this compact thing, and it's an actual,
Yeah,
good spec'd phone, rather than, okay, well, you need a smaller phone, you're going to get the crap version kind of thing.
it's the exact same specs. Well, smaller battery, obviously, and different screen size. I think
Sure.
the Z1 compact was a 720p instead of 1080p.
Which is fine, because it's only a 4.5-inch
Yeah.
device.
At that size, I mean, the PPI is almost the same, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's like the difference between 1080p and QHD at most of the size of phones we're talking about. It's just
Yeah,
it's not distinguishable in most circumstances.
it's like the screen on the OnePlus One versus the G3,
Yep, exactly.
because those are the exact same size.
Hmm.
Weren't we supposed to see this new curved lens for the camera on the Z3 too?
Not on this one. It's supposed to go. It's going on some selfie camera. It's supposed to be the first device they're launching it with now.
Okay.
Yeah, we've heard some rumors of that selfie camera smartphone, and I don't think it's coming at IFA. That might be a CES event.
Yeah, I don't think that sensor's ready for production quite yet. Anyway, that was one
I
of those
think,
things. They only just announced it a little while ago that they had basically successfully made one. So
yeah, I think they're gonna do some more of those standalone lenses like they did last year at IFA. You know, you had the lens you could put onto the back of like your smartphone and stuff.
Was it the X10 and the X100 or something like that?
Yep.
yes,
I
yeah, and
hope they
there's
bring some in that are cheaper because there's like $250 and $500 a piece, and I will go for the more expensive one because it has the Carl Zeiss lens. But if it was cheaper, like $100 and $300, I think they'd sell a whole lot more.
yeah, and they're really good. I have two friends that have. I don't remember if they have the same model, but they have one of those two lenses, and they love them. Dude, and they take some phenomenal shots too.
I like it because it has NFC and Wi-Fi, so that you can put it on like a tripod and then use your phone to take pictures. Of course, I don't know when else you use that other than selfies, but it's still nice to have that because then the pictures go straight to your phone.
Sure.
That's what I like about their new RX 100 as well, compared to mine because mine doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and I just like the idea too because a lot of the SLRs and stuff don't have the horsepower to do things like real-time HDR and things like that, and our phones do.
Yep.
So pairing a really nice lens like that with a phone that kicks butt is, you're gonna have a lot of nice processing stuff that you can do that normally on an SLR you'd have to do on a PC, after you're done doing everything, and hopefully you did everything right.
Yep.
So it's good. Good stuff. I definitely would like to see them make some cheaper ones too.
I'd like to see them make this Z3 compact, Z3 tablet compact, a little more affordable than I know it's going to be also, because I'm kind of excited about that tablet, man. The 7 to 8 inch range for a tablet for me is a perfect size. But I know this thing's going to be $100 more than you want to spend on it.
Sure.
I'm thinking the tablet compact is going to be around like $300, maybe $350, because the Z2 tablet right now is $500 here in the US, which is cheaper than I thought it would be. Because that's about the same price as every other 10-inch tablet. And that's the Verizon version, so.
Yeah, I could get behind that. 300, 350 for it.
If it's
It's a little
300,
bit
I'm
of a,
going up.
yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a step up from the Nexus 7 in
Yep.
in quality, as well as in price. So,
It'll also be
Exactly.
waterproof, so there's that.
yep.
Yeah, can't forget that. That seems to be something that a lot of people are really picking up on too. I've heard a lot of people talking about the S5 and how that's waterproof lately. Like it's some brand new thing. So it's good that they're keeping that in all their devices.
Yeah, when I
Yep.
was on that hangout with Verizon, we were talking about this Xperia Z2, and everybody's first thing that they did when they got the Z2 tablet was go and dunk it in some water. I guess I had used so many waterproof devices that I didn't even do that. That was like the last thing I did.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even do that with my Gear Live. I was like, I think it took me a good 3 weeks or so before I was even okay with washing it. I haven't been able to have a waterproof device yet, so I was still a little nervous about that.
Right. But yeah, if you never have, it's a kind of a cool thing. Uh, if you even if you have already had some kind of waterproof device, it's something that should be. We've talked about this before. Should be built into everything. So
Yeah, it
I
really should. The
would.
only thing I don't like about that is all the flaps that are there. Like here on the Kyocera Brigadier, you've got a flap for the headphone jack. You got one for the micro USB as well. Which the headphone jack, it's not a big deal, but the USB is because you use it every day, and you know it's gonna break off eventually.
Right. But I mean, that's the least expensive way for them to waterproof it. So
Yep. I know Sony found a way to waterproof the headphone jack without a flap on the Z1S, I think it was. And of course, it went
yeah,
on to the Z2 and probably the Z3 as well.
yep. But yeah, so Sony stuff coming. That'll be exciting. Huawei maybe announcing the Ascend Mate 7. They released a teaser video to unlock possibilities or something like that.
There was one 7 mates for 7 dreamers as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we're guessing it's the Ascend Mate 7, which is going to be a 6-inch device. There may be another, like 2 different variants of it with different screen resolutions, but LTE Category 6, 4K video. Um, it's got a Kirin 920 chipset in it. So, Asian device, but they may announce that.
It might
Just
come
like a
over here.
mid-range phone with a big screen.
It may come over here because the Mate 2 came over here.
It did.
And it was
Uh,
$299, and for that price, it was a really good phone, especially if you want a big phone.
did that have LTE or was that just HSPA?
Yeah, it had LTE. It didn't have the same processor as the Mate 2 that's over in Asia. It had the Snapdragon 400 instead of their own processor. So that's why I had LTE.
Yep. It would be interesting to see. I don't know that. I don't know how their processor performs. Like, is it comparable to a MediaTek processor? I think I remember at one point they were really touting how fast that thing was, but I don't remember how long ago that was.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know.
know either.
It's got to be decent though. It's got 4K recording. It's got a lot of that other stuff. So I don't know. Like the Mate 2 was a really cool phone, but a lot of it was mid-range spec stuff. So
Yep,
I don't.
720p, 6.1-inch display is pretty mid-range.
Yeah, after the OnePlus One, I'm liking the idea of these Chinese phones coming over here, and I want them to be like the same full spec, cheap price kind of thing.
Right, and we'll get there on all these other phones that are coming over from Huawei and eventually Xiaomi and some of these other ones. We'll see high-spec devices like next year. OnePlus is, really kind of forging ahead with doing that.
I'm hoping so.
These other ones like the Ascend Mate 2 are not going to be high-end, but, next year we'll start seeing that stuff.
Yeah.
Beginning of next summer, maybe.
Yep. Hopefully it's before Project Era comes in and destroys everyone, right?
Yeah, and that's also, 2015, I feel like, is because if we have a Project Era beta in January, a public beta, or even just a developer preview type working device in January, that's the goal. So if that happens, then we're probably looking at summer, maybe a like fall public release instead of a Nexus device. Google releases a Project Ara device or alongside a Nexus device in the fall of 2015, but that gives the spring and summer to everybody else before Project Ara comes in and plows everything over.
Yeah.
See,
I
Google
was
has
I was,
like
I
so
was
much different phones coming out. I mean, there's Nexus, there's Android Silver, there's Project Ara. I don't know which one that I want.
They're also working on all the Android One stuff, which I'm
Yeah,
not
but
that.
that's not gonna come over here. Actually, the
No.
first one's supposed to hit next month over in India.
I think I saw the target price point was $100.
Yep.
They didn't quite hit that. It was like between $115 and $165. But it's the hardware that goes with the KitKat, the KitKat firmware that will run well on low-end devices.
Yeah, when that report came out that the first Android One device will be coming out next month, everybody's like, Oh, Android L is coming out next month. No,
No.
it's too early. It's gonna at the earliest it'll be Halloween.
Yeah, the Nexus 6, and we'll get to that. That's one of the news things we got once we get through all this IFA stuff. Nexus 6 running Android L, internally at least being called lemon meringue pie. So
And that's how key lime pie was last year until it was
Yeah.
fucked up with Nestle. So
Google loves pie. Who else? What else at IFA? HTC is having a breakfast uh, to announce maybe a new Desire device
yep,
running a Snapdragon 615
yep, it's the
chipset.
Desire 820. It's pretty much confirmed from both Qualcomm and HTC this week. 64-bit Desire 820, which the 820 is their like higher mid-range, or the 800 series is their higher mid-range devices. Um, the 600 is a little bit lower, and then it was like the 510 they announced this week.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
That one's which processor is it? Is it the 615 also, or is it a different 64-bit processor?
In the 510,
Yeah,
that's got a Snapdragon. In the 510, I think it's got a
Snapdragon
Snapdragon
410.
410
Yep, I just
in the
looked it up.
Desire 510. Which is, yeah, you're right. It's a 64-bit processor.
Yeah,
The 615 is also 64-bit, but the 615 is really not that. I mean, it's just a little bit of a step up from the Snapdragon 600.
yep.
For where
That's
this
fine.
thing's going to be priced, it's going to be a pretty decent device.
The 510 is coming here on Sprint, Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile, and I think Cricket, which is AT&T's prepaid carrier. So we'll be able to see that 64-bit phone over here soon. 820 will probably be coming over here too, probably on the same carriers actually.
And it's not a bad deal for what you pay for them.
It really isn't.
So the 510 was announced last night, 2 nights ago,
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday night. The 820 is what we're expecting to see at IFA.
And we might see a smartwatch.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was going to say, man.
I'm not
HTC
a
might
hundred
drop their
percent.
watch on us.
I'm not 100% sure we're gonna see one, but it's pretty likely.
They're going to have to.
I mean, they
We
said later this year, so this is the last
mhm.
trade show of the year, unless they hold their own event or just drop it in a press release.
And Motorola's getting ready to release the 360. We already
Finally.
know about that, but they're finally going to release it. Right, exactly. LG just announced the G Watch R, which looks phenomenal.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking for that teaser. I think it was the teaser video. I can't remember whichever one talks about the display.
On the
It's
G Watch R.
Yeah,
it's
I'm trying
the
to figure out
same
which
one
one it
from
is.
the G Flex. It's the plastic OLED display.
Yeah, but they talked about they have. I don't think it's two physical displays, but at least in the software, probably they have it where the outer ring, it's like the outer 5% of the display, always displays the time, and then the rest, 95% of the inner circle is the rest of the Android Wear stuff, which is freaking awesome. Like that's like the best part about the watch.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's supposed to be going on sale for like €299, so it's gonna be a bit more expensive than the regular G Watch.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
I
And
think that's all the circular uh, smartwatches are gonna be though, because those displays aren't gonna be cheap to make.
we saw the Moto 360s, is going to be priced at 249. So this LG is going to come in with their nicer watch for $100 more. I mean, €299 is going to translate to either 350 or $400 here in the U.S.
Yeah, like a regular translation will put it at that, but I think we'll probably see it for about $300 because usually when something launches like on the Play Store over there in Europe, it's the same like number but different currency when it comes over here or close to it.
Which means that they're actually paying more than we are for the same device.
Yeah,
So then that I could see. $249 for the 360, $299 for the G Watch R. But these are nicer devices than the G Watch, which is a kind of a reference device, and the Samsung one that they just kind of shoved out the door with Android Wear on it pretty quickly.
Yep.
But HTC is going to have to come out with something pretty soon, so I'm betting we'll see that watch at IFA as well.
Now, Asus has pretty much confirmed their watch is coming to IFA.
Yep.
They put in like every teaser this week and last week about it.
Yeah, and their event's September 3rd also.
Yep. I think what I heard is that theirs is going to be like a cheaper one, like $149 smartwatch, which would mean you've got like pretty much every price point set for smartwatches running Android Wear once that one comes out. Because you got the Gear Live at $199, the G Watch at $229, and then the Moto 360 at $249, and the G Watch R will probably be around $299 or so.
So yep, all the bases covered, and I'm glad now that I didn't go ahead and pick one up in last month after they were announced at I/O, because there's and we're only going to see more watches.
Yep.
A bunch of stuff at IFA.
Just wait till CES. You're gonna see just aisles and aisles of watches there.
Yep. Because we still haven't seen anything from all these no-name manufacturers that you never hear of that line the hallways at CES.
Yep.
We also have not seen anything from partners like I think Fossil. Yep. They've signed on to make Android Wear, and those kind of watches from the watchmakers. Fossil's not necessarily a high-end watchmaker. They don't sell their watches for thousands of dollars, but they make pretty good-looking kind of fashion watches. So they're going to be designing Android Wear devices with a kind of a fashion-first focus.
Yep.
Which is going to give us better-looking watches. Which is that's what people complained about with the Gear Live and the first G Watch. I don't really mind the way they look because I'm more interested in the functionality as opposed to the fashion aspect of it. But there are more people that care about how they look than how they act.
The only thing I'd like to change about like the G Watch is how to see it outside, because it's not really that good to see outside, and battery life a little bit more. I can usually get about a day and a half out of it, but more is always better.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the G Watch R does in terms of both of those things. Outside brightness and then battery life too.
I think the G Watch R is supposed to get 48 hours. I don't remember, but I think that's what the press release said.
Which is, better than 24 to 36.
But it's also the same size battery as what the G Watch has, so because it's all the exact same internals, it's just a different display.
So the display must be that much better, or optimized.
It's OLED, so it's just like an AMOLED, where it's lighting up individual pixels. I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference or not.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it might, just because of the way Android Wear works.
Yep.
When if you do the always on screen thing, it just goes black and white, and then it's properly done on an OLED. The only thing is going to be, doing any power at all are going to be whatever your, part of your clock faces that are white are.
Yep.
So it's entirely possible. I don't know how Samsung does it with the Gear. Like if it's like the Moto X and then it's a true black OLED, or if it's more like a lot of their other phones where it seems to us like it is, but there's still a minute amount of power going to even the black parts of the screen.
Because that's why people are always saying, like, put a black wallpaper on a Samsung device and you'll get a lot more battery. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically you will, because it is still less power than if it had other colors, but it's not like
It's
the Moto
not enough
X.
to really worry about.
No. I was the same way. I never noticed a big difference either, even back in like the Froyo and gingerbread days. I remember all that crap, and it was like, yeah, this if it's different, it's like 5 minutes difference. I don't I don't notice anything.
Because that's why Google went from like that white status bar to the black one. Or I think
Yep.
it was like gray and then black.
Yeah, and Samsung is going to be dropping the Note 4 on us, and probably the new Galaxy Glass, right?
Well, Gear VR is what I think they're calling it, right?
Yeah, okay. The Dragon Ball Z looking deal that attaches on your ear.
Oh yes, over 9,000. That's all I want it for.
Just so you can put it on, you can
Just
yell that at the top of your lungs.
just so I can walk around, and you have to break it. Remember, don't forget to break it every time.
Yep.
I think we'll also see another smartwatch one, even though they announced the Gear S already.
Of course, dude. They're gonna announce a new smartwatch every month, maybe 2 a month if they can do it.
At IFA, they'll probably come up with like 4 more, plus a fitness tracker.
Probably.
Oh,
I mean,
Samsung.
these things are cheap enough to make, and that's Samsung's game, right?
That's what they
And
do.
then, I don't know about a new Galaxy Note 10.1 though. I mean, it's time because we got one at IFA last year, but I haven't heard anything about one.
And they might just focus on the Note 4, the Gear VR, and some new watches.
That'll take up their full hour.
Yep. And we pretty much all, I mean, we know what to expect out of the Note 4 at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah, the watches will probably get a press release like an hour before the event on Wednesday, and it would just see like the Note 4 and the Gear VR on stage.
Yep.
Yeah, I think what I'm most interested in is that curved one. I really want to see what they're gonna do with that display.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything they could do to get me back on their stuff, but I want to see what they're gonna do.
Well, all they need to do is tone down TouchWiz, take a note from HTC,
Won't ever
And-
happen.
trim the fat, I mean, not necessarily trim the fat, pack all the features you want into it, but make it snappy, make it fast.
Or just be like Motorola and put it on the Play Store and download what you want.
That works too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It also makes it easier for updating that stuff because you don't have to push out OTAs and get carrier approval and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's a win-win for everybody. I don't know. I mean, we've just been through this for so many years now. I just have absolutely no faith that they're ever going to fix it.
I think unless they see like, I guess even bigger profit drops, I don't think that it's ever gonna happen. But until they start like really losing money, then they're gonna start changing stuff up. Because HTC was the same way; they wouldn't change anything until 2011 when they basically stopped making money. And now look at them; they've gone back to the drawing board basically and totally redid Sense compared to what it was 2011 with like Sense 3 and Sense 3.5.
Yep. Even Sense 4, man, they started making some changes with Sense 5, but even Sense 4 was still.
Sense 4 was a big change. It wasn't as light as it is now, but it was still a pretty big change for them.
Yep. Well, Samsung will figure it out as they continue to lose money and market share.
And you know what? I really hope they do. I really do, because I'd love to own another Note again, but I just can't deal with their stuff anymore. I'm done.
Yep.
What about the camera?
Well, that's part of their stuff.
Again, great hardware and software is just not up to snuff.
Just reduce the noise filtering, guys. Come on. I don't know.
They'll
quit.
figure it out. They'll figure it out. In the meantime, yep, Nick quit. So, there's a whole bunch of other press releases between the 3rd and the 4th. Acer, Panasonic. What else we got here?
Lenovo, Hisense, pretty much anybody you can think of is there. Xiaomi, Philips. Vodafone has a press conference, but I have no idea what they're gonna do or if they're saying even anything that we are gonna need to cover.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what Xiaomi's going to do, because they just announced stuff.
I don't know if they actually have one there.
A press event, they might just be showing off their
Yeah, they
current
may-
line.
That's true.
Because Acer is usually just there, not usually a press event, but they have one I think first thing Wednesday morning, like 5 a.m. or something our time.
They have they're the ones doing the ZenWatch, right? Or is that Asus?
That's Asus.
Okay, sorry, getting them confused.
Acer will probably be a couple of like cheaper tablets. They'll probably show off their latest Chromebook with the Tiger K1 in there too. Other than that, I'm not sure what they're gonna have to show.
Something. You're right. They always come with some low-end tablets too. But I'm pretty excited about Lenovo, considering that they are, top 3 or 4 manufacturer, and they came out swinging with their last couple devices. Moving forward with the Motorola deal, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on them as well. Them and Xiaomi both.
And that deal still hasn't been approved, so I don't know what's going on with that.
We're not hearing that it's being shot down. It's just kind of, we're not hearing anything, which is weird.
Yeah. Because I expected it to be approved by now, and then, they'll start merging together and all that good stuff by now. But so far, they're still technically a Google company, so. Lenovo usually comes out with like 2 to 3 smartphones for basically Asia only, and then a couple of tablets, then a couple of laptops, which of course we don't cover unless it's Chromebooks. But most of that stuff we won't see over here, except for maybe the tablets.
Yep.
Which I hope they do another Yoga tablet, because that last, was it Yoga HD 10 Plus? That one was really nice. It always has like amazing battery life. Like, it puts the Nexus 10 to shame with battery life.
Does it?
It's just that good.
So that'll just about wrap up. Is there anything else that we're expecting to see at IFA this year? Any other big stuff?
Samsung has a second event on the 4th, but I think that's going to be like everything else from them. Like new processors, cameras, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
We probably won't cover much of.
Yeah.
I think that's about it, though, because Motorola isn't at IFA. But yeah, the 3rd and the 4th, it's going to be pretty busy days.
Are we going to see any Android TVs, like Android TV boxes, or any other partners or hardware for that?
I'm not sure we're going to see them yet. Maybe in a couple months when Ella's out.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'll probably be saved for CES, to be honest. Yeah. I can't imagine. I mean, they just announced that platform. It's just like the L stuff. I just don't think it's ready yet.
Yeah, well, it also ties in with L, which is why I don't think it'll be ready yet.
That's true too. But I mean, even if it wasn't ready to be released yet, I don't think they're gonna be showing off products yet. It's too early in the life cycle. I
mean, I'm sure Google's worked with manufacturers like way before we even heard about Android TV, much like Apple does with a lot of their stuff, so that they have products ready at launch. But I don't think we're going to see them at IFA. I have a feeling we may see a couple with the Nexus 6 when that gets launched in like October or November, around that time. The rest of it will probably be at CES in January.
Well, cool. And we'll have all that coverage for you. So like you said, Alex, the 3rd and 4th are going to be insanely busy days. We have tons of posts going up. So if there's anything that you're interested in, keep an eye on the site. We'll have all that stuff up as it hits. So from here, I guess we'll just jump into all the other news that we got this week. There's a bunch of other stuff to talk about.
Yep.
I mentioned it at the top of the show, but I want to plug it again, man, because I'm excited about this giveaway. We're giving away another LG G3. This one, this is the one that's Android Headlines branded, right?
Yep, the front is AH branded down here at the bottom. It's the white, it's the international version of the G3. And on the back we've got carbon fiber up here, and then the power button and the ring around the camera is white carbon fiber. This right here is leather, and then we got matte white in here. It looks and feels really good.
Yeah, D-Brand did a really good job with that. So
they also did the
thanks
box.
To them.
Like on the box we got our own AH and then the G3, and the bottom part is white leather. So they went all out for it.
Yeah, even the box is premium, man. And it's an international G3, so it's an international giveaway. The
And
contest.
it runs through September 9th, so you got about a week and a half left.
Yeah, the raffle copter says 12 days.
Yep.
So just shy of 2 weeks left to enter. Go enter. Win yourself a G3. Really, really excited. We did. It's pretty cool. We did 2 of these back to back, man.
We have another one starting up pretty soon too, but it's not a G3. And I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, suspense.
Oh no. Well,
Oh,
the nice
yes.
thing about this one is, because it's international, I know a lot of these contests are usually U.S. only, or maybe U.S. and Canada or something like that. So a lot of people tend to complain about that for good reason. And hey, now you got a good excuse to enter. So
Yeah,
do
the
it.
last one was one that was locked to AT&T, which is why we didn't advertise it as international, even though you can unlock it and stuff. But not a lot of people are going to want to do that.
Yeah.
But this is the D855, so if you want to check the bands, make sure it'll work on your carrier. Go ahead and look them up. It should work on T-Mobile and AT&T without any problems, really.
Pretty exciting. So that's some big news this week. What else we got? Moto X Plus One, the Moto G2, and the Moto 360 will finally be released. Motorola's having their own separate event. They're not at IFA on September 4th. Most of these press events at IFA are going to be September 3rd, and then in the morning on September 4th.
Yep, so the last one on the 4th starts at like 9 a.m. our time, and that's Hawaii.
And then Motorola is going to be in the evening on September 4th, U.S. time.
Yep, they're doing it from Chicago.
And you're going to be there, right, Alex? You're going to be live at that event.
Yep.
So we're expecting to see the Moto X Plus One. We saw some renders leak of that recently.
And they didn't look good.
Nope. The camera sensor did look bigger. So maybe we'll see a significant upgrade on the camera. We need to.
Yeah, but will it be better? It might be an upgrade, but will it be a good upgrade?
That's the question.
Motorola phones have always had terrible cameras. Like, dating back to like my first smartphone, the original Motorola Droid, and that camera was terrible. But I mean, all of them were terrible at that time. So
Yep, but they just never improved while everybody else did. So we'll see that. That's going to be alongside the new Moto G2. And then the Moto 360 will be available. The X Plus One, as far as specs go, just to run those down, we're looking at a 5.2-inch HD display, so probably 1080p, not 2K.
no, that's not going to be 2K.
Probably a Snapdragon 800, maybe a 801 processor, 13 megapixel camera, 16 gigs of storage, 2 gigs of RAM. And this is also probably going to be what the Nexus 6 is based on.
Yep.
This model device.
I mean, spec-wise, it's basically the G2 from last year, but without the back buttons.
Yep.
All
Pretty
the specs are the same. I've heard some rumors say it has an SD card slot, and some say it doesn't, so I'm not sure on that part.
I am really excited about. I think Motorola is going to come out with something crazy as far as features and software and apps go, and really kind of wow us and do something really cool like they did with the features on the Moto X.
Yeah.
Yes, I've listened to like a bunch of other Android podcasts, and everybody trying to think of what Motorola's going to do, because all the features on the Moto X are just about perfect already. So what can they do better? And well, I guess only Motorola really knows.
Yeah, maybe they put a Snapdragon 801 in it and do something cool with the processor, or man, who knows?
Because it was a 5.2-inch display. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a 3,000 milliamp battery in there because they use the same batteries as LG. They actually use LG's batteries. And LG put in a 3,000 milliamp battery in there. So with all their battery saving technology that they've done in the last few years, I think it'll have pretty good battery life. Uh, and then you get the Motorola X8 stuff in there. It'll probably be AMOLED again, probably for the active display, which I really liked as well. I just hope that camera is better.
Well, maybe this is the device where they finally listened, and they
I
got the
hope so.
battery life, and they got the camera absolutely perfect, and they just knocked it out of the park with those two.
The
Popped it right
battery
up.
life was great on the Moto X until KitKat came. Then it was terrible. It got a little bit better with updates, but it was never back to the way it was on 4.2.
Yep. So hopefully they fix that. And then the Moto G2 is going to step up to a 5-inch display. Still with the Snapdragon 400, just a gig of RAM. Like it's still going to be a lower end device, but with a bigger display.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive too. I think it'll be like around 250 instead of 179. I think I
And
was listening to the Droid Live show earlier, and they were saying that they don't think that the Moto G is going to be as cheap as last year because now they have the Moto E, so it's like low end, mid range, and then high end. The EG and the X. So I guess the G is going to be more of a mid range than the original one was last year.
that makes sense. And then you'll finally be able to get your Moto 360.
I hope they put it out that day, like for everybody to pick up.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that are clamoring for that thing, so they're going to sell quite a few, at least to some people that I know, right off the top.
They haven't sent any of the Google I/O attendees their 360s yet either.
They've emailed them for shipping info, so they've got to be coming sometime soon.
Yes, it does. We also saw, so I mentioned the Nexus 6, or we heard rumor that it was going to be called the Nexus X. If it's going to be a Motorola device based on the Moto X, or the new Moto X Plus One, then the Nexus X name kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
And
I thought the same thing.
yeah, I mean, it just makes sense.
Yep.
That was spotted this week running Lemon Meringue Pie, which was also expected, the new Nexus device, to be running Android L. This Lemon Meringue Pie name popped up in an issue tracker, Chromium build issue tracker. We saw Lemon Meringue Pie, and then on the Nexus X, this rumor was that it was going to be running Lemon Meringue Pie. What do you guys think about the name? Do you prefer that over Lollipop or Lemon Heads or whatever else?
The lemon meringue pie actually popped up in a couple other places too over last week, and I think it was in some part of the dev preview for Android L. You can see LMP, and in other places it spells out the whole lemon meringue pie. I think it's a long name, but so was Ice Cream Sandwich. So
Exactly. I don't know. I hate Lollipop. I really hope they don't name it that. I don't know. That always drove me nuts whenever people called it that. I'm like, no, stop it. Please don't make it that.
it's gonna be like lemon heads or lifesavers.
I don't know. Like make it licorice. I don't know. Anything else but Lollipop is fine with me. And then the pie thing makes sense anyway because we skipped it last time. It was supposed to be key lime pie last time and we didn't get it. So they probably want to reuse that cool little debugging icon that they made.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll just make this another pie one, whatever.
Well, internally, they still call it key lime pie. KitKat is just
it.
a consumer-facing name, so
Yep.
it's they are just going to reuse the pie thing. Maybe they turn it, it's a mirror, so key lime pie faces one way, lemon meringue faces the other. I was thinking about that, like if it's Lollipop or if it's Lemon Heads or if it's Lifesaver, what are they going to use for the logo? What are they going to use for that debugging icon?
Yeah, there's not really much of an iconic symbol for that, is there? I mean, I guess the lemon head, you could have it's the little guy, the wide face guy, right? Isn't it?
Right. Yeah, just the shape, or just the shape of a lemon.
Yeah, they could just do that and make it a little green Android or whatever.
Yep, yep. But yeah, so lemon
That's
meringue
always a
pie,
fun game to play, figuring out what the heck they're going to call the next thing.
and they do that on
Yep.
purpose so that we're talking about it for
Oh yeah,
a
I
month in
love it. It's
advance.
great.
It makes me want dessert.
Just wait till the statue is unveiled at the Android building. It was a building 44, I think. In the
Yeah,
notebooks.
put it out on the lawn with all the other ones
And then
Yep.
we'll see the Nexus 6.
in a
Yeah.
in a
Taking
video
pictures of it.
Yep, sneaky,
Fun.
sneaky.
I'm really looking forward to the Nexus X. I'll tell you what.
So am I. It's funny though. It sounds like you're saying Nexus sex.
I actually made a joke about that before because I'm like, you know what? Honestly, this could be like the absolute perfect phone ever. So it's fine.
And then the name would fit. That's true.
Exactly.
Whether it's the Nexus X or the Nexus 6, either way, you're going to get tongue-tied, and that's how it comes out. So it better be a good phone to live up to the name.
Yes, please
Gotta
do.
be the X. So that was interesting, seeing that name pop up in T-Mobile. Another interesting deal here. So Sprint announced some new plans last week. T-Mobile followed up pretty quickly with some new plans of their own. Well, this week, T-Mobile kept rolling. They announced a new update to their simple plan that is only $45. You get unlimited talk and text. Their old simple plan was $40. You only got 500 megabytes of data with it. This one, you get 2 gigs of data.
There's no throttling, so once you hit the 2 gigs, data's gone until your next billing cycle.
That's the key with these T-Mobile
Yeah.
simple plans.
Yeah, that's the simple starter plans. I'll probably switch to it because, I mean, I barely use a gigabyte. I'm on the $50 plan right now, so the $45 one is probably not going to bother me even if I do go over a gigabyte because you get 2 gigs.
And you'll get unlimited talk and text. So
Yeah,
for
not that I need
$45,
that.
it's really a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and then of course this week they added a bunch of more weird streaming things to their music stuff, right?
But not the important one.
Yeah, of course not the
Yeah.
one important one, but yeah, we got a whole bunch of weird ones. And I actually, side note on that, I saw Groove Shark was added, and I was like, oh sweet, Groove Shark, I remember that. It's like Napster. And I jump on there, and even that one's like a $10 a month subscription. I'm like, yeah, screw this, Google Play Music.
Yeah, Groove Shark had to go legitimate because they were facing a bunch of lawsuits and stuff. So
Yeah, it's Napster all over again.
yeah, yeah, and T-Mobile they added I think 6 new ones.
And the
Two.
only one I had heard of before was like Groove Shark.
Yeah, it was a bunch of other smaller streaming services. T-Mobile did not add Google Play Music.
They said it's coming later this year, so I don't know what the holdup is, but hopefully it does really come later this year.
I don't
That
know.
was the most requested streaming app, and they didn't bring it.
Yeah, because as soon as they announced it, I went to their site, to vote for Google Play Music, and I looked at it, and it's like so
Everyone.
many votes, and everybody else has like 1 bar. That one has like 1,000,000 bars.
Yeah, it's got to be licensing issues or some weird agreement thing. I don't know why, but I don't know why else they would wait.
I don't really get it because Ledger said on stage at that same event that all they have to really do is whitelist that app, the data from
Yeah.
that app. So I don't even know if licensing is the issue. Because they also made it so speed tests don't count against your data, which I think is kind of sneaky but smart at the same time.
It really makes no sense, but whatever. I mean, maybe they have no new announcements for the rest of the year, and they're holding that one just to have some nice thing near the end.
Well, he said Uncarrier 7 is coming.
Maybe that is on Carrier 7.
Just play music, all access,
Probably.
unlimited
They're
streaming.
like, hey guys, check this out. The
I
thing
think
you
he's starting
always
to run out of
wanted.
ideas. Because like his last few on carriers haven't been all that interesting as far as new stuff, but what he says is always interesting.
Yeah, it's turned into the John Ledger show.
Basically, especially when he invites all the T-Mobile employees to the event as well.
Yeah,
And
because
then
then
when like the media asks questions, the employees start bullying the media.
It's alright. I like it for the entertainment value.
yep.
Plus, every now and then I get something worthwhile, so it's fine.
Especially if you follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, for real.
I'm still waiting for him to respond to that tweet from Sprint earlier about their plan where you get double the data than T-Mobile or something like that. I posted on Google Plus earlier, and I'm waiting for him to come back with something to say about it.
Well, and it's interesting that we're talking about how involved John Ledger is and all the cool stuff they're doing. As amusing as it is, Deutsche Telekom is still saying they want out. There was a report this week from Bloomberg that said Deutsche Telekom would sell T-Mobile USA for about $35 a share. Right now, they're valued at a little over $31 a share, so just a little over $25 billion is what the company is valued at. So for
And Soft,
$35 a share,
and SoftBank was going to give him 40. 40
yeah,
They crack me up. I mean, how many years have they been playing this charade?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they really want that. I think they just want, more breakup fees or something
they
to
just want
build
people
up
looking at them.
T-Mobile's network.
It's bizarre. I mean, it's been such a long time where all you hear is, "Oh, we want out," and then like every time somebody makes them a deal, something happens and it never goes through. I don't know. I
Well,
just
it's because you got competitors buying them instead of, like a carrier from another country like Iliad, but they don't have the kind of money to buy them. And if they did, I don't see them putting a lot of money into T-Mobile, which wouldn't be a good thing
Right, because they wouldn't have it to invest.
because their offer for T-Mobile is more than what their company is worth. So
Yeah, when Iliad made that bid, it was just a little over 15 billion that they offered, I think, and their company was valued at right at 15 billion. So
yeah,
they were leveraging everything.
yep, they
And
basically wanted to, become like a Vodafone or SoftBank, become a big international carrier, and they thought that was a perfect spot. But Deutsche Telekom didn't think it was.
no, it was half of what Deutsche Telekom wants for the company.
It was less than half of what SoftBank was going to give them.
Yep, yep. So who knows? They're gonna keep. We'll probably be talking about this 2-3 years down the road. Deutsche Telekom is saying they'll sell the company for $65 a share,
Yeah, we've
and
been
they'll
talking
still
about
uh,
it
be.
since what, at least 2011.
Yeah, man.
yeah, I was gonna say no different than it was 2 or 3 years ago. So what's really gonna change?
Exactly.
Yeah, it
This is
was
back to the
2011 when
Samsung conversation again.
it was 2011 when AT&T tried to buy them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds about
So
right.
it was
2011
at
when it.
least then probably a few years before that.
Yeah, it was 2011 when that process started because it was 2012 when it got shot down. And so yeah, we mentioned a little bit earlier the LG G Watch R. The price on that, if you haven't seen that, go over to the site, check that out, man. It's a really good looking watch. Like as a watch, it looks pretty slick.
Yeah, you literally can't tell this thing is a smartwatch by looking at it.
Yep.
Nope, not at all. It's got a ring that spins like a diver's watch around it. I don't know that you'd necessarily want to dive with it, but maybe it'll be water resistant up to 3 meters or whatever. So it's a great looking watch. Samsung also announced the Gear S. We touched on this a little bit, but that's running Tizen. So who cares? But it's another Samsung watch.
On the G Watch R, I'm confused about the outer ring. Okay, so you said it's a spinny ring thing, like a Casio watch or whatever.
I don't know
That's
that
what
for
it looks
sure.
like. That's what it
Okay,
looks like.
because there was a video and I can't find the freaking video. I looked for like 10 minutes earlier, but there's some video that shows the screen and it shows that it has the inner circle, which is the main display, and then the outer circle, which is an always on time thing no matter what you have on the main screen, which is a big deal. I know when I was moving from the Galaxy Gear to an Android Wear watch, one of the things I was really looking forward to was being able to see the time all the time, no matter what you're in, and that didn't end up, becoming true. Like all the little mock-ups and stuff we saw were different from the final product. So in that video, it said that at least what I thought, the outer ring, maybe it was talking about the inner part of the outer ring. I don't know. Is like an always on time thing. It was kind of confusing now that everyone's talking about this because it seems to be kind of a misconception or something.
Yeah, the reason that I said it looks because that it looks like a ring on a diver's watch, it has a big arrow at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
In the renders, and then a 15, a 30, and a 45 are on the outer red edge that are all facing in towards the center of the watch. It's the exact same setup like on a diver's watch, and when you're diving, you use that to set how much oxygen you have, so you can track the time. When you need to surface again, you're going to run out of air.
Gotcha.
That outer ring could be some kind of a clock. I'm just basing it on the renders that we're seeing.
Yeah, and it's also interesting on this thing. It's got like a little thing on the side that looks like it would be a manual watch, and you pull it out and turn it to set the time.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
probably
what that's
just
used
like
for.
decoration.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who knows, man?
Maybe they stuck a power button on it like Samsung did.
Yeah, it could be.
I
It
mean,
definitely has that button. Yeah, what are they
nicer
going to use that for?
because with the G watch, you have to put it on the charger to turn it on.
Yeah, that was the only awkward thing for me about the G Watch was lack of power button. I can't really say that I use it on my gear, but I'm like freaked out about the fact that I don't have a single button on the thing.
Yep. But yeah, it's great looking, man. I'm curious now that you say that about the outer display.
Yeah, if I can find the video, I'll link you guys to it later. It was just looking through YouTube was just a swath of garbage, as is usual for looking up stuff on YouTube.
Well, and there's two different versions of the watch too. If you look at the renders, one of them has on the display, one of them had, and this is probably just a watch face, right? But
Probably. I'm pulling up it now. Hold on a sec.
One of them has, it looks like a second counter.
Yeah, I think that's just a watch face.
And the other one looks like a chronograph.
It's probably two different colors because the other one has like white on the inner band, or maybe it's you can't see the other side. So
yeah,
one also has the day of the week on it, while the other doesn't.
Yeah, it's probably just a watch face.
But it looks like a watch. Doesn't look like a smartwatch.
Exactly.
I like it.
Good job.
The only other news this week, big announcement, was the G3 stylus. You've been bugging for a while, Nick, for a big phone with a stylus. Well, LG gave it to you, but it's mid-range.
This is compact phone fail all over again.
It's not even coming to the US. It's only for 3G market, so.
And it's not even compact. It's a 5.5-inch display.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's like all these manufacturers like, hey guys, we finally made you a small phone, but it's crap. And this is the same thing. Hey guys, we finally made you a large phone with a stylus like Samsung, except our specs suck.
Yep.
It's what, a 5.5-inch QHD? No, thank you. I'd rather stab my eyes out.
Well, which QHD? Lowercase Q or uppercase Q?
That's clever. That's funny. Now they
it's
have
still a QHD display.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Well done.
You guys. I don't know. I quit. I did it earlier. I'm quitting again.
I think the reason why they went mid-range was they didn't want it to outshine the G3 since that's their obvious flagship. But I mean, they could have just thrown a stylus into the G3.
Yeah, and they should have.
I mean, there is room inside the battery cover to put a stylus in there.
Yeah, man, I don't. Maybe that digitizer is too expensive or something.
I don't know.
We will never see it here in the States. It's coming to Asia, the Middle East, South America.
It's 3G markets only, so it won't be in the US ever.
Nope.
Unless you import it, which it probably won't be cheap.
But that's it. We're gearing up for IFA from here on out. Ramping up. We might see a couple of small announcements tomorrow or Monday, just companies trying to squeak stuff in before IFA, but
Yeah, Labor Day is usually like dead.
yeah,
There's usually nothing at all.
yeah. So go take some time off, hang out with your family, drink some beers, grill some hot dogs, have a good time. What's new in your Android world, Alex? What are you playing with these days?
I got the Desire 816 for Virgin Mobile. Um, it's not a bad device. I just don't like the glossy back, seeing as the sides and the front is a matte finish, and then the back is glossy. As you can see, there's all kinds of fingerprints there, and I just don't like that part. But I mean, it's a 5.5-inch display, 720p, and it's super bright. There you go. It's 5.5-inch display, 720p. It doesn't look too bad. It actually has more of the M8 features than the One Remix had, which surprised me, especially in the camera department.
Nice, very nice.
I mean, there's really not much to say. It's basically software is the same as the M8 is since 6.0. 5.5-inch display, front-facing boom sound speakers, but they're not as good. That's probably because of the size of them. They're pretty small. The bezels are actually smaller than I thought they'd be. Like it's a sizable 5-inch display, 5.5-inch display. Obviously, it's bigger than the G3, but smaller than some other 5.5-inch displays that are out there. And that's about it for me.
What's the price point on that? I mean, I know it's on Virgin, so it's a prepaid carrier, but it's got to be priced pretty decently.
I think it's like $199.
Yeah, see, that's not bad.
It might be $299. Let me see if I can find it real quick on their website.
Well, if you're looking for a phone on Virgin, it's a decent option.
It's $299. So it's not bad. It really isn't.
What about you, Nick? What's new, bud?
Gosh, let's see. First thing, I'm reviewing this little Arcos. Trying to remember what the heck it's called. Let's see, I got the box here. Sorry. My desk is like falling apart here as I roll away from it. Anyway, it's Arcos Smart Home. Probably can't read the box as well, but basically it's like a tablet. Just looks like a little tablet thing, except it's got like a stand built into it, so it sits on your table. And the thing about it is it comes with these little cameras. So you got two little cameras here that swivel, and you can stick them on like the wall or the ceiling or something for like security cameras. Then it also comes with these little, they call them tags. So two of them are weather tags, so you can stick one inside, stick one outside. And then there's two movement tags, so you can put them like one facing your front door, maybe one facing your back door, or something like that, and sort of use it as a security system. And the thing is powered, I think it's Android 4.2. I don't know if there's an upgrade past that. I've gotten a whole bunch of firmware updates since turning the thing on. But basically, you can connect it with any smart devices in your house. So like if you have any of the, I think it's the Philips smart light bulbs and stuff, you can turn those things on and off with this. And you can actually connect it to your phone. So if you're away from the house, you can get alerts, you can check on the cameras. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. I actually have to sort of reconfigure my router to be able to use it outside of the house. I have to open up some ports, but we'll see. Let's see if I can figure that out. my crazy little Verizon router. I don't know. It's a pretty cool little device. It's something that I've always kind of wanted to play around with, so it's nice to have one. And as far as like performance and stuff goes, you're not doing a whole lot with it, so it's not like it really needs to be a super powerful device.
It's just networking all the security stuff on your phone and keeping it all connected, right?
Yeah, basically, and then all the cameras and the tags and all the stuff are all Bluetooth. So they're all pretty low power. They all use like lithium batteries and stuff. I think they just take readings every now and then I don't know. I guess we'll see how long they're supposed to last.
Yeah, I'm curious about that to see how long those last. But that seems pretty sweet, man.
It's a cool little gadget. I don't think I have any new apps or anything.
I was just looking through, man. I don't think I have any new apps either.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing as well.
I think the
Um,
only thing I did install, and actually I got rid of it because I only use Hangouts for SMS, is it's called QK SMS, and it's basically a fully material design messaging program. So it just does regular SMS, MMS type of stuff. It looks downright amazing. It's really sweet looking app, but I don't know. I don't really have a need for advanced SMS stuff. That I'd say 90% of my communication is all through Hangouts. So I don't know. It's cool. If you want to join the beta, go on Google Plus. Just search for the community and hit join. And they accepted me in like an hour. So it just somebody's got to approve it basically, and then you can just jump on it and give it a shot.
Very cool. Well, hardware-wise, I got in some really cool stuff from Creative, some Sound Blaster stuff. They sent me oops, and I don't have the box. Oh well. They sent me the R3 record. It's like a recording kit. So you got a microphone, you got a like mixer that controls reverb and volume. The mixer's got two mic in ports, a headset jack, a line in, a line out, a mobile in, and a USB port on the back. So it connects to your laptop or desktop via USB, and then you use it to record. It's designed for. It also comes with a like microphone for a guitar or a keyboard or something like that, and it's designed for like recording music and uploading it to YouTube. There's a whole software suite as well. So it's pretty cool. I was trying to get everything configured in time to use it for the show tonight and see how well the mic worked, but I didn't have it all set up in time. So I'll have that put together by next week, so I can try that out. So it's a pretty cool little setup. I'm real curious to dive into the software and see what that's all about. And then this guy, this Sound Blaster Roar wireless speaker, this Bluetooth speaker. I finally found a Bluetooth speaker that I can say is fantastic and awesome. This thing is amazing. So you've got cones on the front, top, and on both sides. So it really gives you a good mix of sound. It's NFC, so all I had to do was turn it on, tap my phone to it.
That is the best.
Paired right up, man. It was awesome.
It's like that Plantronics headset that I reviewed last week.
Yep.
I pulled it out of the box and just went beep, done. That's it.
Yep. I love it.
Best thing ever.
I'm probably most excited outside of the sound because this speaker. I'm looking to see if there's anything else. Both of the boxes for these are over here, so I can't show them off. But this Sound Blaster Roar speaker actually has volume buttons on the speaker. I'm so excited about that. I've reviewed a whole bunch. I actually just finished a Bluetooth speaker review today. Put the images in it. That they have what look like volume buttons on the top, but it actually skips the tracks forward and back. It's not volume. It drives me crazy. If I want to skip tracks, I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to do it on my phone so I can see what I'm skipping, what I'm selecting to listen to. I just want to do the volume on the speaker, and this one will let me. So it sounds great. It's got a whole bunch of options that I haven't even looked into to see what they do. You can record sound. It's got different, like you can set an alarm. It's got obviously the aux jack in. It's also got a USB port out, so you can charge other devices. The battery's supposed to last forever as well. I'll dive into that too. It's It's got a micro SD card slot, so you can load music on a micro SD card and listen that way. You don't even need to connect it to your phone. Just put some music on a micro SD card.
Jeez.
Take the speaker with you. It's got everything.
It really does.
I think it retails for $150, but just based on the sound, and I'm going to try the micro SD card stuff too, because if that turns out well, I mean, you just load music on that. It's going to save battery on the speaker. It's going to save battery on your phone. Dude, this thing is phenomenal. So I can tell you how excited I am to find a wireless speaker that I'm excited about. It sounds good. I've never been a fan of compressed Bluetooth streaming audio, but this one actually sounds pretty good. So.
Yep, I know what you mean, because there's some stuff that I just completely avoid whenever I'm using my Bluetooth speaker or speakers. I've used a couple, and yeah, like I said, I mean, they're good for some things, and then just others, it's just totally fail.
Yep. So that's what's new for me. App-wise, I think the only thing new that I've been using this week, it's fantasy football season. I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I had a draft tonight, actually right before the show. The Yahoo fantasy app is much improved, as is the ESPN app. I don't have any leagues on NFL.com this year, so if you got a league on NFL.com and you need a spot filled, let me know. I'll jump in. I think I got room for one more. But there's a new app called Delve that I wrote up, I think yesterday morning, that takes all your news, trending topics. You can log into different social media services and it'll pull feeds from them. You can subscribe to specific keywords and favorite, but it just kind of personalizes your newsfeed. So I've been kind of playing with that. I don't typically pay attention to a lot of news, but if it doesn't come across Twitter, I usually don't see it. And so, but I mean, it's got all kinds of topics: movies, social media, science, music, art, business, typical news topics. It also has a trending topics section. So I've been playing with that a little bit. That's called Delve, Delvv, and it's free. So that's, I think, the only new app that I've been playing with.
You know what I did get, actually? And I forgot about it because I was going to mention it last week, but I wasn't on the show last week because I was down south, was that theme. It's, God, I'm trying to look through my themes now to find it real quick. It's called Shift UI. And it cost me, I think it was $3. It's the only theme I've ever bought. I don't know, I've always had a bunch of themes on my wish list, and I'm like, I'll get around to buying this. And this one I like because it's not just one color scheme. It comes with 6 different color schemes. And it's very heavily material design inspired. And it's it's a really, really nice theme. I don't know. I mean, it's the nicest theme I've ever seen on a phone. But of course, this is the first one I bought, so maybe there are other ones that are really nice too. I just wouldn't be so cheap.
All the paid themes that you never used.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I just thought it was a really nice value because most of them are usually like $2 or $3, and again, most of them are only the one color scheme, and this one comes with 6.
What's it called again?
Shift UI. Shift is in like you're in a car shifting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go.
How much was it?
It was $2.99.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. Certainly could be worse.
Yeah, for real. Well, cool. Then that is going to wrap up the show for us this week. Don't forget to enter the LG G3 giveaway from D-Brand. Thanks again for partnering up with us on that, D-Brand. We definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to go check out this creative Sound Blaster Roar wireless speaker, because that will change your life if you're looking for a good wireless speaker. I'll have the review done on that in a week or so once I get some time with the device. But You can find us, obviously, at androidheadlines.com, on Twitter at androidheadline, Google+, Facebook, all over the place. I'm on Twitter at _Jeremiah N. Alex and Nick don't really use Twitter. Alex does a little bit, but
I try to use it, but I get bored easily.
Yeah, I think every now and then I'll jump on it and be like, hey, what's this thing? Never mind.
I just usually go in there and retweet stuff.
so yeah, and these guys are both really active on Google+, whereas I am not as active on Google+. But yeah, gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for hanging out this week. So we will reconvene next week with Alex in Chicago for the Motorola event to put a bow on IFA 2014 and the new stuff from Motorola.
But hopefully hotspots work well enough for Hangouts.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Don't let us down, man.
Yeah, Verizon.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Later.
See you guys next week.